So I was watching YouTube shorts like an absolute child and listening to our glorious champion, Bilal, remember the name Muhammad, and he was talking about his contenders. He was talking about how Usman sucks because he's on a 3-fight losing streak. And he was saying that Shavkat's last fight was a year ago, and it was a win against Wonderboy, who's on a losing streak. So how would we go about setting up the welterweight division going forwards? Circling back to Wonderboy, he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights, and his last win was against Kevin Holland, who's not even ranked anymore. I think the best route would be to put him up against MVP. It would be a great striking matchup. Wonderboy has his karate and MVP has really explosive kickboxing. It would be a really entertaining match, and I think it'd be great. I think the winner should face Michael Morales to build up Morales' resume, because his last win was against Neil Magny this August, and he is undefeated. Another big name on that resume could get him closer to contention, and could rejuvenate the weight division. Looking through the rankings, you'll see Ian Gary and Colby Covington neck and neck. And clearly, Colby has no other options. Colby's last win was against Jorge Masvidal, and he's probably on his way out. So I think a great retirement match would be against Ian Gary. They're both heels, entertaining, and it would be a great striker versus wrestler match. And honestly, if Colby lost against Gary, it would be a respectable loss. Gary's one of those guys, if you really look at it. He is going to be a contender soon. Now looking at Gilbert Burns, he is in an awkward position. He has a 3-fight losing streak, but this is to great fighters such as Sean Brady, JDM, and Bilal Muhammad. And so on one hand, these are really tough opponents, but on the other hand, it's a losing streak, and I think he needs to prove himself against somebody not too far from him in the rankings, Michael Morales. Gilbert Burns would be another big name for Michael Morales and would get him closer to contention. Now, Joaquin Buckley recently beat Wonderboy and called out Usman, and I think a fight between them would be really interesting. But there's a chance it won't happen because of how big the gap is between them in terms of ranking. So how about he faces Sean Brady? Both young contenders and not that big of a gap in terms of rankings. The winner could enter a title eliminator against JDM. But if Buckley does get Usman, this could already be a title eliminator in itself, because if Buckley wins, he proves that he has what it takes to be a contender. And for Usman, it shows that he isn't washed. If Edwards is looking to enter the title picture immediately, it's not going to be easy or quick. He's not going to get an immediate rematch. He got absolutely cooked by Bilal, flipped straight on his head. I think a good win could be JDM to show he still has what it takes to fight for the title. Bilal and Shavkat are going to be fighting quite soon, and I think that's an interesting matchup. But let's look at what would happen if each fighter lost. I think that if Bilal loses, he should face Usman and back up his words about how Usman sucks. It would also be a great wrestling matchup. If Shavkat loses, he should fight Sean Brady. It would be a great win to get Brady a rematch against Bilal and show that he has what it takes to fight for the belt still. He's only had 1 loss against Bilal, and that's it. So I think he is still ready to be a contender. So looking at the outcomes of these arrangements, we get an out with the old with fighters like Wonderboy and Covington booted, and we have an in with the new. We're building up new contenders for the title, such as Michael Morales, Sean Brady, JDM, Joaquin Buckley. And we're clearing out any residual older contenders, so there isn't a mess like in the lightweight division where it's the same 4 to 5 people.